Hey guys, I'm Morphologist. Welcome back to the channel. With me today is, well, I mean, do I really need to introduce this guy? This guy's BoredGamer. He's also a YouTuber who does a lot of Star Citizen, but if you've been following Star Citizen, you guys have probably heard about BoredGamer, and this is the first time I've ever met this guy in person, so welcome, Mr. BoredGamer.
Thank you very much for having me. Much appreciated, Morph.
That's my pleasure. So, if you guys don't know, the venue we're at is right across from the official Star Citizen, which is being hosted by CIG. But this one is actually hosted by Bored, and actually Jorunn. We should give him a lot of credit, right?
Let's give Jorunn credit, because I came up with the list of venues that I went, they're all next to it, and then Jorunn made it a reality by like chatting with them and making sure it was okay. I mean, I did some, he did others.
And so actually, we should give him a call out, not a shout out. Sorry, oh my god. We should give him a shout out, and if you guys don't know who he is, go check him out down below. He does a lot of streaming. I will be on his stream at some point, but thank you, Jorunn, if you're watching. I really appreciate you setting this up. So the point, actually, back to the purpose. This is supposed to be a Bar Citizen for people who were unable to get the tickets in time. They didn't sell out really fast, but not everybody knew it was happening, and so we got a very big venue here to actually get a lot of people together. So I'll be here for a little bit. You guys will probably be watching this after it ends. I apologize, couldn't do a live stream. Not enough, the Wi-Fi is not fast enough.
This Bar Citizen is not financially gated. So there is the official one is across the road, and I'm sure CIG will have devs there, and it's great, whatever, but I don't like that sort of form of elitism, and there needs to be an overflow for people to come to, and it's across the road, and it's good. And I'm sure that people from the Impossible venue, the official one, will come across here as well. I'm sure it'll be a great night.
Absolutely. So, I honestly didn't have any plans for what we should talk about, but I wanted to get us together on video at least once before things start to really heat up, because tomorrow's going to be really fast, right? There's going to be so much stuff going on.
Maybe.
Probably. Interviews and stuff. I know you have, who are you interviewing tomorrow?
I'm hoping to interview Sean Tracy.
Okay.
Though I'm much, as I was saying to Morphologist before, lower effort than him. I'm very malleable and just sort of like seeing what happens. And CIG have just gone, we'd sort of put you in somewhere. Whereas you actually have some interviews lined up and stuff. Because
well, one officially for sure.
People can't see the setup. So the setup is that Morphologist has is amazing. This is mine. But at some point we need to put a photo of your $5,000 setup. But it's fine. People like the low effort.
Well, it's an investment, right? Because I have never been to a CitizenCon. I mean, I've said this before in my video, but this is an awesome event for me. Like, I've met so many people now, including, you know, obviously BoredGamer, but I've been hanging out with Texas Skulls. I almost said his real name, Texas Skulls, and the Few as well with his friend. I think one of them is sitting right there. Texas is right there. California Skulls is sitting right there. And it's been awesome. Like, I totally get it now. Like, why it's so much fun to make the effort to get down here. I mean, it's a little easier for you because you live in the UK.
Yeah,
but
I don't like living in the house though. I'm a very low effort person. And like, I really, after talking to you, I've realised how much of a low effort person I am.
Well, you do what works, right? Everybody's got their own niche for YouTube, and it works. I put too much effort into it, and obviously don't make enough money to pay for everything I do. I have a considerable amount of my own income from architecture goes into this. But for me, it's worth it. It's a lot of fun to put this stuff together. So anyway, let's talk CitizenCon a little bit. What are you looking most forward to tomorrow, actually? I
think the thing is I don't know. And I think that's... Okay, so for people that talk to devs ever at any form of events, or have seen some of the takedown, the sort of like wrap-up videos that they do of CitizenCon, they don't necessarily know what's going on at a CitizenCon until very close to the CitizenCon, sometimes within like go, no-go meetings today, possibly going, are we showing this? Are we not showing that? So I've heard some rumors, we've seen some leaks. I'd love to see new star system. I'd love to see new gameplay. I'd love to see something Squadron 42 based, although there's nothing on the schedule for Squadron 42. It sort of just makes sense to me.
Which is kind of weird, right? Like last year they had a big trailer reveal for Squadron 42.
Yeah.
A lot of big names.
They didn't have that on the schedule though.
Oh, oh, okay. I don't remember actually.
So they didn't have a schedule saying Squadron 42 trailer.
Yeah.
They'll show what they're going to show, and we've been given little tiny tidbits of. These are questions that might get answered, these are questions that might not get answered if you ask them, but we don't know that much.
Right. No, and actually, I'm really actually looking forward to seeing what they show for Squadron 42 because
If they show anything at all.
if they show anything at all, but I really do hope they do because I think it's really important to start really generating the interest back in Squadron 42 because I think it's been kind of like it's definitely been tapering off the interest in not just Star Citizen but Squadron 42 because it has taken a while for most people who don't understand.
There are some other really great games in the sci-fi sort of genre coming out though. So you've got sort of like Cyberpunk coming out in April,
which a lot of people compare the game to in the comments section for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're I don't think they're mutually exclusive games. I'm going to be playing both. But there's also like Half-Life Alyx. Oh my god!
Yeah, which was just announced. Just announced. If you guys haven't seen that trailer, you guys gotta check it out.
Yeah.
It's not Half-Life 3, but it's a Half-Life.
You're getting an index, yeah?
Not yet. I don't have one, but I will get one.
Get one.
I mean, obviously, I was like when I was growing up, it was Half-Life and Half-Life 2. It's got to go back to my roots.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting for the channel. So look for that in both of our channels. We'll both probably be covering it at some point, playing on the index.
Yeah, that's true. That's correct.
Yep.
Morphologist is now actually deciding what's on my channel, but he is 100% correct. Yes.
I would assume you were just we were just having conversation off channel, and apparently you're really into Half-Life as well.
Yeah,
like you grew up on it too, right?
Yeah, Half-Life in the same way that your Half-Life and Source Engine games have influenced your life, they've influenced mine a lot. Like I think modern games, including Star Citizen, are heavily influenced by Quake 3, by Source Engine games, Half-Life, Half-Life 2. Call of Duty 1 and 2, Battlefield 1942, the games that were pioneering before all games became sort of like very similar. And you've got other games that are a little bit different with like Battle Royale, but they're using the same sort of style. We don't have the same sort of like pioneering spirits of games since Half-Life 2 that we've now had with VR and we've had with Star Citizen. They are genuinely pioneering industries. I think that's one of the reasons I love Star Citizen so much.
Same. I think one of the most interesting and intriguing aspects of both Star Citizen and Half-Life is that they were both pushing the industry at their moments in time. Star Citizen is continuing to push that, which is what makes it, for me, so interesting. And so I'm really interested to see now what Half-Life is adding to it. Because it does always seem like when they added something, excluding the episodes, because they were just, they were okay.
Didn't mean that.
Spoilers. Anyway, Half-Life 2 was amazing when it came out. Half-Life 1 was amazing as well. So I have high expectations. I maybe too high, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to Alex. But anyway, we're here to talk about Star Citizen. So like, what then are you? Is there any Squadron? We talked about Squadron 42, but is there anything else for the PU that you're looking forward to maybe seeing? Is there one specific thing you want to hit on that you want to see?
I mean, it's new systems. So new Star systems are a huge part of Star Citizen for me. I suppose it's twofold, really. It's not just new systems, because it's sort of irrelevant having more gameplay area and being able to travel to that. If there's nothing there, you just go, we just move around the same system. I need content to fill it as well. So the missions, in conjunction with reasons to move to other Star systems, and knowing that CIG can start delivering on the promise of an MMO, that is what I'm excited about. Like, Star Citizen is starting to have its sort of like skeleton, a little bit of meat on the bones, just a little bit though.
Yeah.
But CitizenCon is the time of year that they show so much awesome stuff, or at least it's a culmination of what they've done throughout the year, and they sort of like give you like updates on what the sort of like roadmap like sits at, and you sort of like understand the project a lot better from their point of view, because we as sort of like viewers, we get the roadmap updates and all that sort of stuff, but we don't necessarily know how CIG see it from their own point of view, and we just get shown what they want to show us, and that's the same as CitizenCon, admittedly, but you then get to see like in context, like these are the pillars of the game, this is what we want to focus on, this is why we want to focus on them, and that's what we're trying to bring to you. That changes, but it's nice to see it from year to year.
Yeah, and it's also like just talking about being at CitizenCon, not viewing the footage of what they've put together this year. It is nice because you get to talk to developers and just kind of try to understand a little bit more about the process itself. And
we haven't seen it yet.
Well, we haven't obviously.
We haven't seen it yet.
This is before CitCon. Some of you guys may be watching afterward, and I'm sorry. Try to get this up as soon as I could, but. So it's really cool for that fact. But so you're looking forward to then more systems, which is interesting because you can't see them up. Texas Skulls and the Few and I had a little bit of a podcast, so we talked about.
There's literally thousands of people around us.
Just like all the fans, all you guys.
They're waving at me now. Look, most of them are wearing my merch, but not any of your merch actually.
What? No, right there.
No, that's mine as well.
No, there's no one here. We're completely alone. Nobody cares. No, I'm just kidding. So it's interesting because we were talking together, and I think we all three came to a separate conclusion that we think persistence is actually the most important thing that we'd like to see out of Citizen content because new systems are great. But
okay, no, you are correct.
What a lot of people that I see in the comments section are turned off by Star Citizen because they know that at the end of the 3 months schedule, all the stuff they worked on.
They can't show persistence off at CitizenCon.
That's true.
It would be irrelevant if they did. We have persistence in our enclosed servers. That's coming to you in 6 months' time. Do you know what I mean? So I'm sort of about stuff that I want to be wowed by. To be honest, persistence would wow me.
It would wow a lot of people who are familiar with the project, but you're right that it's not going to draw new people into the project because they're drawn in more by big, pretty ships. I mean,
no. Actually, no. Let me rephrase. I actually think, as a project goal and as something they're adding to the game, if they had persistence in the game now, Star Citizen would be significantly more mainstream.
I agree, and I think there'd be more, and when you say mainstream, that obviously includes more people streaming it, which is how I think right now in the modern era, you get people interested in a game and playing it. You get a lot of people streaming it, people are interested in the product. There are millions of people every day on Twitch looking into games, and companies are starting to realize this. So the biggest problem for Star Citizen right now is that people aren't getting into it because it's hard to be invested unless you're really invested in the project like we are, right? Like we, not just much, but like we're really interested. We know all the aspects.
I love Star Citizen.
I love Star Citizen.
I love the project. I love the community. I love every part of it. I love everything that goes wrong with it. I love everything that goes right with it.
But not everybody likes that. Like not a lot.
I love the drama.
It's the development process can be very frustrating at times, even for people who are into the project. But I like that aspect of it. The casual people who play games when they're honestly just at work and they come back and they just want to play a game don't want to stand for that. They want to get into a game, they want to play it, they want to put it down and still be satisfied.
Yeah,
Star Citizen doesn't necessarily deliver that.
If you want to have a pioneering spirit in a game, you have to do something new.
Yeah.
And no game has really done much new beyond recycling the same old for many years. We've stagnated with games, largely. In my opinion, anyway, at least games I enjoy. I mean, there's certainly going to be edge cases, there's certainly going to be games that you're like, what about this game? Yeah, potentially with this game that you've written down angrily in the comments, maybe. But I'm talking about sort of like more mainstream games that do set new standards for things, like Half-Life 2 did, like a load of the slightly older first-person shooters did before they started getting recycled. New one each year, each month, whatever. Star Citizen's got something pretty superb to it, or at least so much potential there that it makes me quite excited as a content creator for it. But when we were talking about sort of like, were we worried that what would we do if Star Citizen didn't exist, or if that something went wrong with it or whatever? I don't think there's much of a worry there for me. Like, I love Star Citizen. I think I'll cover the project, whatever. I'll cover it, what's and all.
I was just talking in hypotheticals, but yeah, I mean, obviously, it's always peripherally something that we're afraid of, but honestly, having been involved in this project now for quite some time, and more seriously recently, as you guys have been watching my YouTube, I am now quite convinced that we're going to get to at least some significant percentage of the promised part of Star Citizen that we've seen from Chris Roberts. I've met the developer. Well, I haven't really met them. I've talked to them a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to talk tomorrow. But from everything that I've seen, the interviews, the development videos, and following it closely, even just reading like Jump Point, these guys aren't just working at CIG. They're doing what they love. They love developing this. For most of them, they love doing this, and so it makes me all the more. Not just supportive, but I guess I just believe in the project even more so, knowing that it's a passion project more than just a job for a lot of these developers.
If you ever get a chance to talk to devs yourself as a viewer, whether they be junior or they senior or they're project leads, most of them, I'm sure there are edge cases, I'm not going to say it's a sweeping generalization, but most of them are pretty damn happy with Star Citizen. so some of the project leads I've met literally said to me they weren't getting paid as much as they wanted, but they're going to stay there to see the project through because it's something they genuinely think that it's going to be amazing, or there's something they love. And this is from audio teams to various different graphics teams to people doing stuff on gameplay area to people doing stuff on mechanics to people actually building ships. There's a lot of people that love what they do. But I mean, wages are another thing that maybe I shouldn't get into in this video.
Well, I mean, yeah, we definitely. I mean, there's definitely. We could dive into any one of these topics so deeply, but just more broadly speaking, I think that Star Citizen is such a great time to see where the project's going, meet the developers, like I said, and just be reminded why you love the project so much, right? So,
what are you looking forward to seeing then at CitizenCon? You say the persistence would be the greatest thing that they could show.
Outside of the persistence, because the persistence I think is going to be one of the things that drives the more long-term growth of the project, which is something that I would love to see as somebody who loves this project and wants to see it succeed. But obviously, I love the shiny things too. I want to see what this cool new ship is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I spent too much money getting here. I don't think I can afford it right now. But obviously, I still want to see the pretty ship, you know, and I can borrow it still from somebody to try it out for an Architect Reviews video. Check it out. Product placement on my own channel. Anyway, okay, aside from the ships, aside from that, I would love to see, as you said, new systems, because I think that it's now time. And yes, I am no developer or dictator of where things should be, but in my mind, I would love to at this point see a new system, because I think that's the next step. We're almost completely done with this system. We're like at the end of development. Microtech is next, which is pretty much in the bag. We know it's going to be in 3.8. But then the gas giant, which is the last component of what we're going to expect to see in the verse, like variations of these different types of planets.
There might be more beyond what we've seen in the standard
system.
system.
I would expect there to be, yeah. Nebula is one of the things that we haven't seen yet that won't be in the Stanton system, but it will be in potentially in Pyro. So
potentially, we know that there's the coil and sort of like that sort of stuff, you know, the Odin system.
Yeah.
That they've been working on for a long time, getting that tech done. But I think that Squadron 42 and the way that CIG developed, very, very long burn, very slow process. It should allow for some amazing games. We will literally have to wait and see, though. That's one of the issues that I have as a content creator, and one of the issues I have with Star Citizen is that it's a wait-and-see project. You can see a lot of it, they can talk about a lot of it. We don't know until it's in our hands how good or great it's all going to come together. Something that Chris Roberts has done very well in the past with Wing Commander, a long time ago, is he brought a load of components together and made them work. And I think that's my hope for Star Citizen. You bring those components together, bam.
I think that is why Star Citizen is successful right now. I was having a great conversation last night with Rexilla. I hope I can get in a video at some point as well, about why Star Citizen is so appealing to so many different types of gamers. And I think it's because it doesn't necessarily do any specific thing well. It's not like the greatest space combat game. It's not the greatest FPS combat game. It's not the greatest trading game or whatever. But it has all of these components together in one system that interact right now. Even if it's only like tier 0, tier 1, it's still possible to do things in Star Citizen. That
so much potential.
We're kind of, and not just potential. Like, you look at Rexilla's videos that he's put out, and what other games can you set up where you can do that right now? There are a few where you can do pieces of it. But
there are arguments that you can do a lot of that sort of stuff if you have enough setup. But Star Citizen does allow for doing quite a lot of interesting sandbox gameplay now. But that's not the intention of the game. And that's something that I worry about. Like, do the devs look at stuff like Rexilla's videos and people that are doing these amazing sandbox things and going, the game's already done then? No. They look amazing. They look great. That's awesome that the game supports them already in this alpha stage of the project. And it's cool that people can play it now and clearly really enjoy it. I fucking love Star Citizen. I'm sorry if I F-bombed on one of your videos. I don't know your level of...
The FCC next year will kill me, but for now we'll be okay.
It's not for kids. It's fine.
Not for kids.
Not for kids.
I should have said at the beginning, not for kids.
It's not for kids.
Not for kids.
COPA compliance. But it's an interesting thing. I mean, I think that it's such a community-driven project with Chris leading the helm and then some very good keymasters looking after making sure stuff gets implemented. I think we're going to see some great stuff from CitizenCon, and hopefully a solid direction for the next couple of years to come from it. That's what I want. That's what I want to the most, beyond anything else.
I think you've hit on the core of the
completion.
issue. We want to see, for those invested in the project, I think we all want to see the direction the project's going, because we've always, all of us have had that moment where you start to think, all right, where is it actually, a little unsure of the direction, what do you want to focus on next? Because there are so many little components that still need to be worked on so badly.
And big ones.
Yeah, and big ones. Let's talk about, OCS and stuff like that. Well, not in this video, but I mean just in general, like the pillars. Like, there's not anything on the roadmap for those pillars. They've talked about them. They talked about getting OCS done, at least to some server-side OCS done for 3.8. But is it going to be ready? I'm not so sure. We want to know. I think from this, at least what I hope to see, is how soon are we going to be completing those pillars? When do we see server meshing, at least in its first form, coming in?
Give me a roadmap to completion.
Which is, by the way, and I just want to point this out for the viewers who don't know what that is, that's basically the end result is we get more people in one server, like potentially thousands of people in one server. So
yeah, the issue with server-side object container streaming or server object container streaming, SOCs, is that CIG do not know how many people will be able to get into a room, a single room. That's the bottleneck, because you can have all these servers sit together. One server can handle something as small as a single room. They don't know how many people are going to get into a room. Is it going to be 40? Is it going to be 40,000?
Yeah. I think that's one of the most important things to take from this is what information do they tell us about those really important core items, because really all this other peripheral stuff was really cool, like the Planet Tech is interesting, but really it's not as fun to explore alone. It's more fun to explore with a crew of people. It's
supposed to be an MMO, and
exactly.
At the moment it's sort of like either you organise an event together in a sandbox way, or you play solo or with one other person, but your progress doesn't mean anything. It's a tourist destination. It's a beautiful tech demo and a beautiful tourist destination, and it's great to keep on following the project, and I love it, but it is that. It's not an MMO yet. It's not an MMO yet.
It really isn't. I think persistence, like we said, is one of the keys. Just to round things out here as we come close to concluding. I think what we really want to see is persistence, a roadmap for when we're getting these last core components done.
A roadmap to completion in the same way that we've got for Squadron 42 would be great. Just a list of all the features.
Or at least if they tell us, at least we can then write this stuff down and get an idea. Even if they don't want to commit and put it down, I just want to hear them talk about it, because they've kind of coyly alluded to it in videos and stuff, but they haven't really directly addressed it in the way that I think that we would appreciate seeing.
I agree.
So this is an opportunity, I hope, for them to do that. I don't know if they will. I think both of us will be asking these questions. For sure.
If you ask them, I'll just steal your answers.
We'll both poke and prod from all directions and see what comes out. That sounded a little weird, but I mean, you get the point. The comment section in this video is going to be interesting.
It's going to be perfect, so it can be edit it heavily.
So anyway, I think that's a great way to kind of round this out and talk about what we're looking for. I appreciate you sitting down and talking to me about this. Unless there's anything else you wanted to put in quick here at the end.
No, I really need the toilets.
Okay, well then, we will be back with other videos. I will try to get this up as soon as possible, but if it doesn't come out early enough, I'm sorry. And at least we'll be able to watch two guys a lot of you wanted to see together for a long time, chat a little about Star Citizen. It's been an absolute pleasure, Board. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much, my Vortigist. It was very good talking to you, mate.
Yes, indeed.
Do some more in a second. More talking.
And if I can plug Board, if you haven't seen him yet, I don't know what you're doing in Star Citizen. Go check out this guy. He does a lot of news updates. I don't really cover that so much. I leave it to this guy.
Oh, you see?
If you want to just
complimentary channels.
There we go. And no, honestly, and I'm not just trying to like pat your ego here. I do listen to your videos in the background when I don't have the time to catch up with patch notes, because it really does help me make things a lot faster in doing content for myself. So I appreciate the work that you do for Star Citizen
as well.
I do videos on ships, on internet spaceships, whatever.
I like them. Good.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You did too. All right. Anyway, that's the end of the video. See you guys next time. And you see you around the verse.
Is that what CIG used to do?
Yeah, they used to do the around the verse. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Anyway.
Smooth.
Smooth.
No editing required.
None.